Ian Gough is a double Grand Slam winner with Wales, earning 64 caps in his career. An experienced pilot, we caught up with him at Helicentre HQ and spoke about a small rugby match coming up at the weekend.
Yeah, it's something we don't even realise it's coming into town. You know, it's in Wales. We never know when England come across. It's never hyped up in the media for us. It's been absolutely huge for a long while. You know, it was lined up back in November, and before the November internationals, everybody was talking about the 23rd of February and England coming across and you know what potentially could mean our first home game of the Six Nations as well, which is always big, and the way England have set the marker down, it's even bigger. So there's a few of us Welsh people that are just slightly, more than slightly concerned about the threat that's coming across.
Yeah, how were you feeling at half time on Friday the 1st of February?
Yeah, I was commentating with BBC, and I was biting the end of my pencil. I thought we were in for an absolute hammering. It was, completely the opposite start that we wanted. And then, after eating half my pencil, I sort of had to spit it back out and start writing again for the second half. It was, a pure cliche of a game of two halves. It was absolutely unbelievable. And then what went on in Italy as well, I can understand what went on and why it went on, but it was certainly not the continuity that we'd have wanted going into this game.
We spoke to Matt Tate about the relative strengths of the backlines of both of these sides. Just tell me, with your insight as a former second row, about these two big packs that are going to be going toe to toe.
Yeah, well, that was the scariest part of what I watched, especially the Ireland game, the Ireland away game. They're a very good pack, Ireland. They're second in the world, and for good reason. And England actually suffocated them and took them apart. So their physical dominance was apparent, and that's a good. The good thing that we've got is we've had 2 weeks to prepare. England have showed us exactly what they're doing, ruthlessly doing, so we can prepare against that, whereas they've seen us and they won't get a great deal from what they've seen us do in the first two games. So, we probably have a little bit of an edge in that way. I'm clawing at this, but we have got a little edge where, we can put a strategy in place for what we've seen, whereas England are just going to have to play their own game as they have been doing, and hopefully that works for them.
Yeah, Warren Gatland talked, bullishly about the fact that if Wales beat France at the beginning of the championship, they'd go on to win the whole thing. I'm sensing a little bit of anxiety in you ahead of the visit of England. Why would that be?
Well, I think it's exactly the way England have played. I think the marker that they put down has been a very apparent big one, and they've absolutely suffocated an Irish side in Ireland that they haven't had many losses in Dublin, and they've done it convincingly with a bonus point. And then France have come. France can be France at times. You don't know what side's going to turn up, and England absolutely put them to the sword. A very dominant performance. So as the form guide goes, then England are coming with form, and after us we're on a big winning streak at the moment. But even with that winning streak, the manner of the performances England have put in has made us very sketchy, is the Welsh word we like to use, about the threat that's coming. But that's what's great about international rugby. On the day, it can be anybody's. You get your tactics right, you have those big moments in the game that you can convert and make the pressure tell, take your chances, and it could be anyone's, but we're under every realism about the threat that's coming across the bridge.
What's going to happen on Saturday then?
Well, as a Welshman, as a proud Welshman, I've got to say we're at home. We have beaten England at home, even though England have come and they've won there as well, so they won't know any fears of the national stadium here, the Principality. But it's all on the day. We can get our big game players, the likes of Dan Biggar, which I think will be starting on the weekend. It hasn't been announced yet, but I think he'll start. Lee Halfpenny's still a bit of a cloud over his injury, but we've got the players there that can win, that are used to winning on big occasions. So we have got it there. It's going to be a titanic battle, and how it's going to be decided, and and it comes down to certain mistakes that are made and certain tactics. So how it will be decided, I don't know, but I'd like to think that we've got enough in our squad. The likes of North, these guys. Dan Biggar's playing in the league at the moment. They know what the players are about. They've played many times against the English and England. We've got it within ourselves to win that game, but it is a mountain of a task.